Chapter 1. The way you looked at me. I remember the way you looked at me like I was something rare, like I was the only thing in the room that mattered. There was no music that day, but your eyes made the silence sing. Do you remember that street corner? Golden light spilling between us, like time had cracked open just enough for something beautiful to begin. You said nothing, but I heard everything in the way you smiled. I didn't know then that it would be one of the last times. That sometimes people pass through your life not to stay, but to leave something behind. A whisper, a pause, a forever that only lasts a moment, and yet that one moment made the rest of my life feel a little less empty. You were wearing that old gray coat. Your hair caught the wind, and I remember thinking, this is the kind of memory people write poems about. But no poem could ever touch how it really felt. The air smelled like rain. You smelled like warmth. And I didn't know how to say any of it. So I just stood there, quiet, letting my heart do the talking. It's strange how someone can be gone for years but still show up in the way the sky turns gold at 6 p.m., in the soft rhythm of footsteps on wet pavement, in the way I still reach for my phone thinking maybe, just maybe, you'll be there. But you're not. You became a season I keep reliving, a chapter I never finished, a photo I never took, but still see in every dream. Sometimes I wonder what we could have been. Not in a sad way. Just in that gentle, aching kind of way you think of something beautiful that didn't last. Maybe in another life we stayed. Maybe I held your hand a little tighter. Maybe I said all the words I was too scared to speak. But this life, this one was a lesson, not a promise. Still, I loved you. In every quiet way a person can love, without fireworks, without forever. But real. So real it still echoes in the spaces I thought you'd left empty. And that's the thing about love. It doesn't always leave when the person does. Sometimes it stays behind to remind us we felt something worth remembering. This was how you looked at me, and I've never forgotten it. Chapter 2. A summer of everything. I don't know how to describe it, but that summer felt like it was made just for us. The days stretched long and golden, like the sun was slowing down just to give us more time together. Every afternoon I'd find myself walking, sometimes running, to the old boardwalk where she waited, hair dancing in the breeze, sundress fluttering around her knees. We didn't have much. A few dollars in our pockets, a couple of Cokes from the vending machine, and a whole world in front of us. But somehow it felt like more than enough. Like the universe had taken a deep breath and whispered, "Here, this moment. Hold on to it." We talked about everything and nothing, dreams, songs we loved, what kind of dog we'd have one day. We'd sit barefoot on the edge of the dock, our feet brushing the surface of the water, watching the sky melt into pink and lavender. Sometimes we didn't even need words. Just being near her made the world make sense. She taught me how to see beauty in the ordinary, the way a dragonfly hovered just above the lake, the scent of jasmine in the air, the sound of wind rustling through the tall grass. Before her, I never noticed those things. After her, I couldn't stop seeing them. One evening we got caught in a warm summer rain. Most people ran for shelter, but not her. She stood still, arms wide open, as the rain soaked us through. I fell harder in love right then. Not because of how she looked, though, God, she was beautiful, but because she made life feel like magic, like anything was possible. That night, under the stars, I told her, "I think this, you and me, it's something I'll carry with me forever." She smiled, eyes soft and steady. "Then, let's make it something worth carrying." And we did. We made memories like treasures, little golden pieces of time I'd tuck away, not knowing just how much I'd need them one day. Chapter 3. The Light Between Us. I remember one morning, the sky still soft with sleep, she turned to me and said, "Do you think people are made of moments?" I didn't know what to say, but I kept thinking about it for days. Maybe we are. Maybe we're not just bones and memories, but the little things that stay. Like the way she'd hum when tying her hair, or the way her hand would reach for mine without thinking. We weren't chasing anything big, not money, not fame, just joy, the kind that sneaks up on you, in the golden hour, in a quiet laugh, in the hush between words when you both understand the same feeling. We once spent an entire afternoon painting rocks by the lake, just rocks, turning them into turtles, suns, and little galaxies with chipped brushes and cheap colors. And it felt important, like we were making something that would outlast the summer. One night she pulled me outside and pointed up. The stars were everywhere. "You see that?" she whispered. "That's ours." I asked, "The sky?" She smiled. "No, this feeling." And I got it. That quiet happiness. That sense that even if the world changed tomorrow, this moment was untouched, ours alone. There was no plan, no map, just a boy and a girl who found each other in the right season. And somehow that was enough. Some days I still close my eyes and feel the sun on my face, the lake air, her laughter in the distance. She was the light between all the shadows, and I didn't know it then, but I was already learning how to miss her. Chapter 4. When the world was quiet, we used to walk without talking, not because we had nothing to say, but because we didn't need to. Just the rhythm of our steps, the echo of birds somewhere far, the wind teasing the grass. One afternoon we lay in the tall field behind her house. She placed a dandelion crown on my head and whispered, "Now you're royalty." And for a moment, I believed her. That in her eyes I was something sacred, something seen. She would draw shapes in the sky with her finger. "That one looks like a lighthouse," she'd say, even if I only saw clouds, but I nodded always. Because in her world even the ordinary turned luminous. We didn't own anything, not even promises, but the time was ours. The hush between thunder and rain, the stillness of the world when she fell asleep next to me. I used to stay awake just to listen to her breathe. It felt like the universe had paused for us, like life whispered, "Stay here, just a little longer." But even quiet moments carry echoes, and sometimes, when the night is too still, I hear them again. Her laughter, the hush of her hand finding mine, the way her voice curved around the word, home. Back then, the world was quiet. And in that quiet, I learned what it meant to love someone without needing to say it out loud. Chapter 5. Letters the wind never sent. There were words he never said out loud. Instead, he let the wind carry them, soft syllables folded into invisible letters, released into the golden air where she once stood. He walked the path where they had laughed and the air remembered. It brushed his face like fingertips, as if answering, "I'm still here." Sometimes he'd pause by the trees and whisper things only she would understand. Small truths, secret hopes, like, "You made the world softer." No reply ever came, but the leaves trembled kindly, and he felt, somehow, she had already read every word.